because he listened to our episode and he's like, what is that?
Oh,
and I was like,
no one's ever told him about it.
We're about to have this conversation. Oh, it was very uncomfortable. But I had it
like
because you know what? Like, I feel like we need to have these open and honest conversations about our bodies because men just don't understand. And it's not that they don't want to understand. They just don't know. They don't know how truly bad it is.
I don't know how truly bad it is to get kicked in the balls. I'll never know that. But, I do know about period shits.
Yeah. No.
That's a real thing.
I know that I had to fart this morning and dude face had stayed the night. Ooh. And I was like in pain. I had to fart so
like,
badly.
I think I need to step outside.
And I was like,
Tig for a walk.
Exactly. I was like, I just got to walk Tig real quick.
They're like, wow, you feel really urgently about this. I'm trying to get out the door real
and
fast.
I'm like all like crippled. I'm like, oh God.
You can't even button your pants.
And I'm like walking like down far enough the street, like crop dusting. I'm like Louis Armstrong, butt trombone. Louis Armstrong. So gross.
Oh man.
Speaking of gross, did you guys hear about the guy who made the engagement ring using his finger and toenail clippings?
No.
Cannot.
What?
So there's this guy, I think it was in Japan, and he made like a YouTube video of it where he, for a year, 365 days, he saved all of his finger and toenail clippings in a bag, which is the grossest thing ever to picture. Like a bag
actually
full
is a
just
fingernail.
It's keratin.
It's basically the same thing your hair is made of.
Yeah,
and like shit tons of bacteria and nasty
underneath
shit.
Yeah, like listen, like I try and keep my nails clean. They're painted right now and all that stuff, but my nails get dirty so fast. Like I'm cleaning them constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't imagine the kind of disgusting shit that ends up underneath your nails.
Oh,
and
God.
so you can see it in the video. Like and it's up there with me. It's not quite as bad, but it's up there with me as like a bucket of spit. You know what I mean? Which is like viscerally disgusting.
Oh, God.
A bag of toenail and fingernail clippings.
I can't even imagine what that looks
Horrifying.
like. I don't like it.
And so he like ground it down.
What, you use like a mortar and pestle?
Yeah, like
Ew.
grinding it down
You're breathing in the
into
dust.
a powder.
Uh-huh.
And then he like mixed it with like some kind of liquid.
Like a resin or
and
something.
then heated it up on the stove.
Couldn't
which
watch.
you gotta throw that pan away.
Yeah, exactly.
Immediately.
You're not going to make chili out of
And
that.
he created some kind of like stone and it's black. And I'm like, why is it black? But I didn't watch the video.
Also, why is it so small?
It is fairly small. Yeah, it is
why
fairly
did it
small.
You're like, I need at least a carrot.
You got to give me at least
365 days.
a carat and a half engagement toenail ring.
Oh God.
And so he made this ring, and I'm like, what would your reaction be if the love of your life proposed to you and he gave you a toenail clipping ring?
I think that my first response would be like, black diamond. That is so unique.
Ooh,
That
fancy.
is very cool.
I mean,
and
that's
then I'd be
for
like,
sure what I'd be telling everybody.
But it doesn't even look like a diamond.
but no, because
really?
it's
like an onyx. It's like
onyx.
onyx. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'd be like, this isn't my birthstone. And I'd be like, where's my diamond? So
You know what? I'm not even a person who needs a diamond. Like
I am.
I said that I was like, I would have been fine with like an aquamarine. I'm not a person who needs a diamond. I like gemstones, but I would be like, you're excited. You're like, yes, amazing. So excited. But, as the night goes on, you are like, what an interesting choice. What stone is this? At which point he has to tell you, them's my toenails. Then what do you do?
then you're like, this is off.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to leave your
After I
fucking
bought
toenail
it.
ring
Oh my God. It's just
on the side table.
I am throwing it at you.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm all for like DIY and stuff, but there's a line.
There's
like,
limits.
don't use
Yeah.
your body parts to make
Leftovers.
things. I don't want that.
I don't want body crumbs.
Yeah, body crumbs.
I don't want it.
That is what that is.
It is.
It's body crumbs.
It's your body crumbs.
So gross.
It's like sloughed off skin. It is.
Oh, God.
It's the same thing.
nails. It's
you
a
know
hair
what?
trim.
It would be the same as if you use the skin that you peel off during a sunburn
Oh,
and turned it into jewelry. It's the
I
same.
hate it. I hate
Gross.
it. I hate it.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I'm gonna
It's
say
not my
no.
favorite.
Oh my God, you guys, speaking of things I don't like, I want to talk to you about Kanye West's latest album.
Let's please.
Kanye. Or as Anthony would say, who is Kanye? Anytime Kanye comes on, Anthony has canceled him. It is interesting to me who people decide to cancel. Kanye is canceled for Anthony. If it comes on the radio, he'll turn it off. He is completely
out of his gourd,
off his rocker, completely.
So I actually listened to the whole album today as I was like,
why?
Now, here's what I think.
Okay.
This is what's so strange. Kim Kardashian marries this guy, and he's Kanye West, and he's doing. What do you do when you get into a relationship with somebody and it just is like, you're like, wait, you're not the person I thought you were? Because this is like, I mean,
do you
this
think
is
she's
not
freaking out right now?
She has got to be freaking out right now.
But she's not acting like she's freaking out at all.
They're real good actresses.
So I don't think they are. Are they? This is fine. Everything's fine. I mean, because that's kind of how I
look
felt
at all
too.
the Kardashians as that meme where everything's on fire and they're this is fine.
But here's the thing, though. There is one thing you have to give the Kardashians credit for, the Kardashian Jenners, and that is they're never going to stick in any situation that is too bad for their image or their brand.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me wonder about this relationship, because I'm like,
so weird.
It seems like you would have noped the fuck out of this already because it's bad PR.
He's a Trump supporter. He is like trying to say like abolish the 13th Amendment, which I actually read why he wants to do it, but it's still like kind of he's
no, but
like
I have a hard
slavery
time.
Is a choice.
Yeah,
and like,
I have a hard time believing he can actually articulate anything.
And then a Christian rap album.
Well, and he basically is like starting his own like weird Kanye cult.
Yeah,
he is.
Sunday,
Yeah.
it is Sunday service.
Yeah.
And he says he's not going to do any profanity in his music anymore.
And he
Listen,
also said that he does not want anyone to have sex to his album.
Yep.
He also encouraged everybody who was working on the album while he was working on it to remain abstinent for the entire duration of creating the album. So
what is going on?
Sounds like
he's unwell.
Pure garbage to me.
I think I genuinely think he's unwell.
Yeah.
It's gone to his head.
Oh my God.
Straight to his head.
Yeah.
Oof.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Album review. I would say skip this. Pitchfork gave it a 2, and I think that was being generous.
Got it. So it's a swipe left. That's what you're saying.
Definitely a swipe left. It's a big old bummer.
Gotta miss the old Kanye.
Yeah. That did make me nostalgic, and I put on like Jesus Walks, and I was like, "This is a
there's
great.
where it's at.
That's a great song.
So,
It's so good.
good.
oh, so good.
It's not even, and that's what's the bummer. You know what I mean? Like
flashing lights.
Jesus Walks has a very spiritual, religious like tone to it, but it was like it felt real and it felt sincere and it felt. And then you have this album, which is like it's really awkward. Because
No,
the lyrics
I think that there's
are
something very wrong with him. I
awkward.
do.
And the actual music itself isn't good. So
I don't know. I don't know.
bummers.
What happened?
Awkward. Well, welcome everyone. This is My Worst Date. I don't always sound like this, but I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
I pointed at myself.
Yeah, you did.
So that everybody could see. It's me.
We have 2 new patrons that we need to shout out.
Yes.
Very exciting. So we would like to give a very special shout out to Rebecca Ann. She is also a member of our Facebook group. And I've talked to her on Instagram a couple of times. She was going to work a show that I've worked on before. So we were talking about that. She's great.
Awesome.
She's the local, right?
Yeah, she's local.
Is she also the one that did the movie or the thing that okay, never mind. Never mind.
I don't know, but I don't think so. So it's been really awesome getting to know her on social media. And thank you so much for joining us on Patreon. We really, really appreciate it. And also we have Emily Naz. N-A-Z.
I hope it's like Nas.
I hope it's Nas.
I hope it's Nas.
That's
but
awesome.
inside, I feel like it's probably Naz. Correct us.
She's like, Emily Nas of the Nazes.
Maybe you've heard of us.
Maybe perhaps you've heard of me. Also, her name sounds familiar too. I feel like she's probably in the Facebook group too.
I think I've seen her on Instagram for sure. So thank you as well for joining us on Patreon. We are going to get your patron rewards in the mail very soon. So look forward to those. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. And just a reminder, you guys, any of the patron rewards that you guys get, the stickers and the buttons are patron specific. So they're exclusive. We don't sell those in our merch store. Yeah. So the t-shirts are from our merch store, but the buttons and the stickers are exclusive to Patreon.
Yeah.
So welcome. With this voice.
We're on fire over here. There's lots of smoke in the air. We're all congested.
My throat is on fire. My chest is on fire.
Are on fire, and it has been like 100 fucking degrees in Los Angeles. It is so hot outside. I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
And I like hot weather, but man, I had bought sweaters because it cooled off. It was down to like 70 degrees. I bought sweaters. I had this great sweater dress that I'm waiting to wear, and I can't.
I got 2 sweaters with my Rent the Runway. I was ready for fall, and no.
And then it took it back. Weather this year in LA has been wild. Like, we were just talking about how cold it was, like, up until June.
Yeah. And it's weird because fire season really got a slow start this year because usually it's like through June or July, August.
Well, usually it's September whenever the fires are like the worst, like the beginning of September.
Yeah.
But the end of October is late. It's late for us to be having this many fires. Yeah. And I actually got like a fire notification, which hey, prepare to evacuate.
Yeah.
Like text, which I never do because where we're located, we're usually not that close.
But you do not have to ask me twice. If I get like something from your phone, it's like, hey, maybe get ready to leave, I'll be like, I'm already gone, actually.
It's weird. I'm actually...
Some people that are like, nah, it's going to be fine. I'm like, what are you living in a dream world?
So I just had to kind of cross my fingers that the fire didn't come because my cats were at home.
Oh, dude, you should just message me.
Yeah.
Also, we should all have each other's keys just for emergencies.
Yes. And guys, this is a check-in. I'm sure everybody in every state has their own natural disaster that they need a go bag for. So this is your reminder from My Worst Date to have your go bag ready, because I don't have mine ready.
I don't either.
And we should definitely have a preparedness kit.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We got to put our new LLC thing in it.
Yes, I know, in our fireproof box in case anything happens.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Oh, what else is going on this week in the world of dating and weirdness?
Okay. So I don't want to, this is not a political thing, okay? So I'm going to preface this by saying that.
I feel like it's political already.
It's not. I don't mean this in a political way.
Is it the butt dial?
It is not the butt dial. It is not the butt dial.
That's hilarious. That's an old person thing.
I just wanted to bring up, so Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner just had their anniversary, and Ivanka posted a picture from their wedding day. And this is the caption to this picture. Let me know what you guys think of this.
Ooh,
as
okay.
a married
a
married couple, okay?
Okay.
You inspire me with your calm, stoic disposition and unwavering prioritization of that which matters most in life. Is
that a compliment?
The caption.
I feel like you made me sound super boring.
On the photo.
It sounds like something you write in a resume.
It's your calm, stoic disposition is the thing that you're going to call out on your anniversary. Is there a less romantic thing that you could say?
I don't think so, actually. I'm thinking.
Isn't that weird?
It's really the least romantic thing.
It is very weird. Like, if I saw that
he is like, to me, anytime I see him, I'm like, this guy's like the Wonder Bread of people.
You read my mind.
Yeah.
The wonderest of Wonder Bread.
He doesn't even have the flavor of the crust.
Nope.
He's crustless Wonder Bread.
Crustless Wonder Bread.
But you know what? I feel like Wonder Bread is even like all American enough that they have like light behind their eyes. You know what I mean? I don't know what. There is something there where it is stoicism. Like, he's got this weird stoicism, and I understand where that's coming from. But your wife
She loves
That's
stoicism.
the thing she loves most about him. Is
Some
just
people are obsessed with fucking Wonder Bread, man. Some people, it's their very favorite thing.
Just
it's
wet
their
bread.
jam.
It is.
It's their jam. I see what you did
Yeah,
there.
no, it would not be mine, man. Can I tell you how fucking bored I would be?
I've just
but-
never
bored at that-
seen
everything about that.
I just feel like at that point you don't even make an Instagram post.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I just
Just
feel like
the picture,
that,
no caption.
yeah,
Next
or just
time.
a heart emoji.
The
Leave
end.
it alone. 3 heart emojis.
You really, really love that stoicism.
Because, yeah, I read that and I was just like, if any one of you posted that on Instagram, I would call and make sure you were okay.
Do you think her dad wrote it and was like, I have all the big words?
Dude, there's no way he can make it through prioritization.
No way.
No fucking way.
Unwavering prioritization. There's no way.
True.
And again, not trying to be political.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
just
Yeah,
saying.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make
Motherfucker's
that.
building walls in Colorado.
I'm from New Mexico.
Would not let that. We couldn't
I'm
let
from
that.
New Mexico, and I have to tell you the reaction.
It's so
to-
funny. It's like, oh, yeah.
New Mexico drew a map like where they're like carved themselves out because underneath Colorado is New Mexico, and then they crossed out New, and they were like, well,
There you go.
I mean,
more Mexico now. Anyway, sorry.
Oh my God.
So this episode is coming out the day before Halloween.
I know.
We got to do another. I know we want to do Dateline Daddies, but we got to do another like fuck, marry, kill with like.
I agree.
I like Halloweeny, spoopy.
Witches. We could do old school scary, like the
like
creature from
Bella-
the Black Lagoon
And like Bella Lugosi,
Dracula.
like Dracula, and then you've got
Oh yeah, let's do the
Wolfman.
iconic. Let's do like Wolfman,
Or Frankenstein.
Dracula,
and Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. I love
Frankenstein.
That's
Okay.
perfect.
All right,
That's
I like
Okay.
it.
All right.
I
All right.
like
So
that.
wait, hold on. Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Ooh,
Well,
fuck, marry, kill.
I think you have. Well,
I
I
know
want
what
to
I would
marry
do. Yeah.
Dracula because I want to live forever.
And classy
Not
as
me.
fuck.
It's so classy,
Yeah.
right? Like honestly,
That's the classiest of the 3.
Well, I think that too. Like you're just like it's the lure. There's a lure about
They're sexy.
Vampires.
Vampires are sexy.
It's a sexy. It's something. There's something there, right?
Got an accent?
I am going to. I'm gonna. Frankenstein sounds like an absolute robot in bed. But I have a feeling he's got a big dick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You
100.
you know the fragile male ego that put that thing together
Oh,
was like
yeah.
gave him a big dick.
My cold is perfect for this.
He's a tall, big guy. I guarantee you.
got a
Like
big dick.
Igor, like got him a big
Yeah,
wang.
Wolfman's gonna be fast. He's gonna be like.
Speedy and hairy.
I feel like it's gonna be hot.
Oh, it's sweaty.
And is there
very.
anything worse than wet fur?
It's very much like a furry situation.
Yeah,
like it.
I'll
Yep,
tell
nope.
you. Like, if I go downtown and I'm licking balls, but I'm getting like a mouthful of freaking
like it.
hair, I don't like that.
But you know
Trim.
what?
I trim.
But let me tell you, of the 2 of them, I feel like Wolfman is more likely to go down on you than Frankenstein.
I'm afraid
Absolutely.
of how he goes down on you, though.
Yeah.
I don't want him
Fair.
down there.
Don't be too
aggressive. Yeah, keep
You
it
know what?
together. Don't get too excited.
And if we're talking about like, I mean, Frankenstein's already kind of been dead. So like, what's that smell like?
See, yeah,
What's the hygiene on
and
that?
the thing with me with Frankenstein is like, you know, I read the book, very sad boy, extremely sad boy, like to the point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm like,
He's not going to talk too
you're
much.
not a good time, fun time.
He's not a communicator.
No, he's
which is
not gonna
fine.
be
But for
fun.
just a one-time fuck,
You're
big
right.
dick, one time.
You're in
done
control
and done.
completely because he's kind of like
Stupid.
Yeah, oh well.
But
Yeah.
is Wolfman only Wolfman like in the full moon?
Full moon.
So what if that lines up with your like period and he like goes off and he does
no.
and he does, you know what I mean?
I don't
Like he
like
goes
that.
off and he
We
does his
kill
stuff
Wolfman.
and he's like,
I'm killing Wolfman. I've
no,
made
but
my
then
decision.
the rest of the
Okay.
month he's like a normal person. You know what I mean?
I'm going to kill Wolfman. It's a no for me.
I mean, I'm kind of a monster. At least I'm a monster more than one day a month.
If you were a classic character, which one would you be?
Wolfman,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
I feel
know-
like I'd be
you know-
Dracula with all the blood transfusions I've had. I'm definitely Dracula.
I think I would like to be Dracula, but I would probably be Wolfman as well. You know, okay, yeah.
I'd be like Jekyll Hyde. That would be mine. That's my character.
That's a good book too. So I think I am going to also marry Dracula just because the idea of living in a castle is very appealing to me.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. I also feel like there are a lot of big fancy dresses involved.
Yes.
Which
totally.
I'm down for.
It sounds like a or like a not a rom-com.
romance.
Yeah, like a romance novel. Waiting to happen.
Yes. I like a good dark gothic romance novel. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And yeah.
I mean, do you have to live in Transylvania though?
But you know what? I've been to Transylvania. I've been to Transylvania. And I like Transylvania. Transylvania is beautiful.
It does. It looks cold.
It's not cold.
Oh, really?
Well,
It's Romania,
I mean, I
right?
went in the summer. Yeah, it's in Romania. I went in the summer, and it was not cold. It actually was nice. It's, kind of warm.
Oh, well,
temperate.
you won't get to go out during the day.
Oh, right.
That's also true.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe at nighttime it could be cold, and I'm sure it is colder
I
in
don't
the
think
winter.
you feel cold because you're a vampire.
Yeah. True.
Oh,
Also
deep
true.
dive. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I don't know how much I want to live forever. But living for a couple hundred years would be chill.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't want to live forever, ever either. That's why I was going back and
But
forth.
there's
I'm like,
out,
Can you
right?
stab yourself in the heart with a
I
steak?
think you can.
Can you do that?
yeah.
Can you eat garlic?
Yeah. Just,
Oh,
Go in the
no
sun.
garlic.
No garlic.
What would I
Oh,
do?
man.
That's a bummer.
Just go in the sun. Fuck it. You can't have
Yeah.
garlic. Here comes the sun.
Yeah. You're like,
Do-do-do-do.
I just wanted some pasta.
That would be a bummer. Not having
so
garlic
close to
would
Italy
be
and no
a bummer.
pasta.
Not ever being able to look at myself in the mirror as a very vain person. That
Yeah,
would be
you know what though?
a
But you're a
problem.
vampire, so you're
You're gorge.
you don't
yeah,
need
it's
to
fine.
because
Yeah.
you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Somebody could draw you.
So
Paint
yeah.
you like one of your French girls.
Yes. I'm going to go ahead and marry him. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I am going to fuck the Wolfman, I think. I don't know why exactly. I don't know why exactly, except for that I remember reading Frankenstein, which is a very good book, but also being a little annoyed about how like emo fucking Frankenstein is. And I feel like that would be really annoying. So I think I'm going to fuck the Wolfman. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to fuck Dracula because I think, sex with a vampire's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
good.
just really don't want to live forever, and I like the sun. I like being out during the day. You know,
You're
I'm just
not
gonna have
wrong.
a really, really good night. I'm gonna marry Wolfman.
Oh, okay.
I almost made that decision as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I think, one night a month, he's just going to be a giant asshole or whatever.
Right.
It's like, it's fine. You kind of get used to it. And you're
Well,
like,
and
get
it
the
seems
fuck
like
out.
Wolfman's very aware that he's
Yes.
going to be a giant asshole.
Correct.
So, like, because doesn't he, like, eventually try and, like, chain himself
And,
in the basement and shit like that? That's fine.
What if some of the qualities that we love about, like, dogs is, like,
Translate.
what if he's, like, super loyal and just, like, loving
He's
and
got Frito
sweet?
feet.
Well,
He's got those little Frito feet. Oh.
But yeah,
We'll
no,
fuck
I'm
up
gonna-
anybody who tries to fuck with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm going to marry the Wolfman,
Okay.
and I'm going to kill Frankenstein. He just seems so fucking boring.
Yeah.
So
You're
yeah.
like big dick or not.
Well, he's
Bye.
kind of a dummy. Like, I listen to the Bechdel cast and they always talk about that like sexy born yesterday trope that happens a lot with like women in movies where they're like, I'm dumb because I'm brand new. And then like you have to teach them things and that makes them like hot. I feel like that is Frankenstein. I feel like he's like a baby. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like too fresh. Like you'd have to like teach him shit and like he
not
doesn't know how the
into-
world works.
Some people like that. Some people get into that, but that's not my. That's
no,
not my.
me
Yeah.
either. You're really ruining this.
I'm
for
so
me.
sorry.
But then I'm like, it's one time again.
It's once,
As long as
yeah.
it can get hard and we can do it and move on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you could
God,
be on
I've
top
had
because he doesn't know
so
anything.
many of
It's
those
my favorite
fine.
position
Yeah.
anyway.
There you
Oh
go.
my God. Speaking of positions and speaking of things, the thing that you posted in our group about our scary
Our horoscopes.
horoscopes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You
What was yours? I was Jaws.
You were Jaws. You were It.
Yep.
And I was Samara from The Ring, where she climbs out of the TV.
Oh, I don't like it.
Oh, I fucking love that movie.
Ugh. I was like, Jaws? I'm like, that's not real scary. And I said I needed dental work, and I was like, first of all,
bitch.
fuck you. You don't know me and my teeth, okay?
No, Jaws is scary, though. Like, honestly, like, some fucking sharks are scary.
It never scared me either.
Yeah.
Like, I just, I'm not scared.
No,
But
Jaws
some people are like...
Jaws didn't scare me, but I think that sharks are scary. Like, when I saw for the first time, like, one of those, like, shark jaws that was like huge.
Oh my God, they're
with
huge.
all the like big, long, like sharp, pointy teeth.
Right.
And I was like,
that
oh,
didn't need dental work, by the way.
Dinosaur. I was like, oh, it's like a sea monster. Like that is actually what that is.
I think I'm not scared of them because I'm like, well, I'm not going to go where they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
get
fuck
in the ocean.
I'm not trying to fuck with them at all.
Exactly. I ain't fucking with you. You know, you're good. So it doesn't scare me because I'm just like, it can't come up and get me. It's not going to come through your door right now.
But trust, if I was close to a shark, if I was fucking close to a shark, I would lose my shit. Like, if I was just like in the middle of the ocean, just like swimming, and I looked over and there was a fucking shark, I would lose my shit.
Why are you in the middle of the ocean?
I think anything that you see like out of context, though, too. Like, what if you were like in a lake or whatever, and you saw that?
Oh, I don't like
you're
that.
not expecting it. Or even if a shark did come through, a shark coming through the door right now
Kool-Aid
would
Man
be the
right through the wall.
scariest fucking thing ever, because it's
I think we found your Halloween costume.
Kool-Aid Man shark.
Kool-Aid Man shark.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God. Oh, well, you guys want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yeah.
Good.
Sweet. And we're back. Okay, are you guys ready for some stories?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
All right, I am going to kick us off since I have the crazy in love. This is from a male listener, and the subject line is my personal stalker.
Oh.
All right, so
Here we go.
here we go.
I'm settled in.
My armpits are sweaty. Let's go.
Okay.
So I recently started listening to your podcast, and I really thought you ladies would have a pretty great laugh at this experience.
Ooh, I'm excited.
You're getting resituated over there. To start off the scene, I met this woman on OkCupid, and we messaged back and forth. I saw you visibly shudder over there. Visibly,
It's not a great one.
Not a great start.
No.
And we messaged back and forth. She was quite a bit older than me, 9 years, but that wasn't really a problem. I've always dated older women.
Ooh, hey, hello.
Hi.
Can I get some deeds? I'm gonna slide into that email like, hi.
Have you met
my friend
me?
Christina?
Have you met me?
However, the first weird flag, I like it that it's a weird flag. It's like not quite a red flag, maybe not even a pink flag. It's like just a weird one.
Yeah.
Just something that I just took notice.
Yeah.
Was when she said she hated driving and that she wanted me to go out to her. So she chose a place to eat out by her, which ended up being about a 45 to 50 minute drive each way, which I had no issue driving. Cool that you had no issue. But also
find something to split the difference.
Yeah, that's what I always do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I know every halfway point now between like WeHo and Santa Monica or WeHo and Los Feliz and stuff like that. You split the difference.
We should
especially
be
on a
equally
first
inconvenienced.
meetup. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. But I guess she didn't want to drive at all, so I guess that makes sense. She decided to choose a Red Robin. I know.
Flags everywhere.
Terrible first date, but not my choice. You drove 50 minutes to go to a Red Robin. You drove an hour.
Robin. I need to get that egg on my burger.
That place is shitty.
I mean, it's not shitty.
I
mean, like if I'm traveling and on the road and I need like a good place for a burger, it is not. It's not terrible.
I don't like it.
I mean, it's no Chili's.
Can't get that bomb ass queso.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I went to a Red Robin. I do not remember.
No, it just feels very Midwestern to me.
It is. So we sit there talking until they are about to close. Well, that sounds pretty good. So you're having a pretty good date, I think. Looking back at the first date, there were a handful of red flags. I like that he wrote red flags as one word. It feels like it should be trademarked. It's like red flags. TM.
TM.
There were a handful of red flags that I should have noticed.
I actually really want that on a t-shirt.
It's hilarious. Just one word, red flags. For instance, she insisted on checking my driver's license, which I declined.
Wait,
and
what?
It's a very weird flex.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That I don't know. No, ma'am.
Has she been duped before?
Are you
like,
a police officer?
I'm sorry, sir. No.
He is 9 years younger. Maybe she's like, I just gotta verify real quick.
Yeah.
You have to at least be.
Or she mentions that she's terrified of traveling and so she hates it, which I love doing for conferences and developer events. And just small comments like, if you make it past week 1. I had a decent time and asked if she would like to do it again another time. We end up going out a handful more times and I was always the one driving out to her. I helped her take care of animals as she did a ton of house sitting as a vet. Let us admit that it went from 1 to 100 way too quickly. After about week 2, okay, so he's 2 weeks in.
Wow, this was too fast food.
And he's been driving almost an hour to her every single time and helping her with her job.
No. Yeah, I don't. I
don't
feel
like it.
Yeah, I hope that you don't have a lease or something.
Right?
You're gonna rack up them miles.
Yeah. After about week 2 and a handful of dates and hangouts, shopping trips, taking care of animals, movies, dinner, etc., I got her a couple of gifts, like a dress while shopping and some bath bombs.
Damn.
Wait, so have you met my friend Christina?
I know. I mean, my God, he likes animals, clearly.
Yeah.
He is big on gifts.
Yeah.
Likes older women.
Likes older women.
Hey.
What if he's older than you?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know his age. I know. We are making assumptions here. She started belittling and hated everything that I had interests and passions in. Traveling, games, books, scuba diving, ice hiking. Okay.
Cool.
Etc. Getting upset that I talked to friends of mine that were women. She got upset that I wouldn't buy her super expensive jewelry. Even went into...
Wait.
Pause.
Okay. All right. We're going to need to put a pin in this. They have been together for 2
weeks.
fucking weeks, and she's upset that she's not getting jewelry.
This is
Sweetheart,
real.
let me tell you about online motherfucking dating. After 2 weeks of dating, usually the only thing you get is a nice case of ghosting.
Yeah.
And that's what you can expect.
But this is a golden girl. She's like, I want some nice jewelry.
Well, but I don't know
what
though, because I'm
fucking
like,
world are you living in?
also, you went from Red Robin to expecting some nice ass fucking jewelry awfully quick. Is all I'm
She's
saying.
like, let's stop into this K's real quick.
Do you remember
the
that
kiss
story we
begins
told
with
where
K.
on their first date, that girl took that guy to that jewelry shop and then cried when he wouldn't buy her diamonds?
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Like,
What
what's
is
happening?
wrong?
Who raised you? Okay. Even went into a conversation that if an engagement ring wasn't worth X amount, it wouldn't be acceptable. There was even a conversation in there
2
about
weeks.
having to know about how we feel in a year max. And if we aren't getting married right away, at least knock me up.
Oh my.
No.
I just crawled right back into my skin.
Yikes.
After just thinking through all this, I realized just how toxic this was and I couldn't deal with it. So I message her and tell her that I'm sorry, but I couldn't see this going anywhere and outlining all of the above red flags and that I wish her the best of luck finding someone else. This is where it goes crazy.
Wait. It's like my story. I was like, here's where it gets interesting.
No.
Honey, sweetheart.
No.
We passed interesting several mile markers ago.
You had us. You had us earlier
You missed
than you
the
thought.
exit.
She starts texting me, asking me to come out there. We need to talk about this. I like it that even now she's not willing to come to him. She's like, I really want you
Please
back, but
drive.
you need to drive the hour to me.
What do you think gets her into the car? If that doesn't, you know what I mean?
No, yeah. Well,
And we might find out. Because this is where it gets weird just now. Jesus.
it was recommended to me by a friend to absolutely under no condition do that. I love that.
Good friend.
This is what you need friends
That
for.
is a good friend. I admit I did offer to meet her, but only if she met me halfway at a mutual and public place, which she refused.
Well, then.
That's a bright red flag.
Yeah.
So I just ignored it. She started verbally attacking me through voicemail and text messages with things like, you can no longer be the nice guy because you are an absolute asshole.
Number blocked. Bye. See? And then this is me. That was me
that a
trying
whistle?
to
Is that you
whistle.
whistling?
I can't whistle.
Okay. Oh,
but yeah, that's me
wow.
whistling on my way. There you go.
Yeah.
Then having a message 10 minutes later apologizing, saying, didn't you ever think I was just testing you?
Okay.
Ew.
I don't like that.
And begging, please, will you come and talk to me and let me explain?
Nope.
Over the next week, she starts texting me and calling me from at least 5 different phone numbers, hoping to just catch me in some way. Ugh. I hate that. God, also, listen, I'm already fucking dodging enough phone calls. Like, I don't need it coming from 5 different.
Unless it pops up mom, dad, Dylan, or Chris, and it's a phone call, it's not getting picked up. Because even if one of you guys called me, I'd be like, I would text you immediately. Like,
You're like, why are you calling me?
I feel like if I knew your phone call was coming in, my phone is usually on silent. I probably would pick up if it was one of you,
That's
but
true.
only because you're calling me, so it makes me worried that something's wrong.
Is true.
Like,
That's
I would
true.
be like, are you okay?
But if it's like just a blank number, I ain't picking up for shit.
Because I had a friend of mine do that when we were at our friend's house for dinner on Sunday. A girl that I like is a friend of mine, but I have not really spoken to. We don't speak like regularly. We'll talk on social media a little bit, but we rarely ever talk. And she called me twice. And so I called her back right away because
feels like MLM.
She's like,
It's
have
not-
you heard about Sensi?
It's not because I know her. I know her a little better than that. Yeah, she's like, girl, long time no see. I have an amazing opportunity for you.
And you're like,
Ooh, no
I
thanks.
saw that you quit your job. Do you want to make some extra doge?
Hashtag boss babe. But I called her back right away because it made me feel like you never call me. You called me twice in like an hour period. Is everything okay? You know.
Hashtag butt dial.
No,
was
she
actually
did
Rudy
mean to call
Giuliani.
me. She did mean to call me. But the next weekend comes and I'm at home working on some personal projects. I get a text message from her saying, I'm outside. Can you please come out and talk to me? Keep in mind, I always drove 50 minutes out to her and she had absolutely no idea where I lived. And I look outside my top floor window and sure enough, her car is out there. I freaked the hell out and messaged my friend for some advice. God, you've got good friends. And to her credit, she immediately told me to call the police and under no condition open the door or talk to her. She then started calling me multiple times and texting. I go downstairs and do commando crawls through the house.
Yes. me. This would be me.
To see if she is still sitting on my... She's on his porch. She's sitting on his porch.
Calls
coming from inside the house. About 45 minutes pass, and she is still freaking out there. So I call the police and crawl back to the stairs and go upstairs to watch from the window.
Oh, no.
I explained to the police that she didn't get invited and wasn't given my address. She just showed up at my house after I said that it wasn't going to work out after a handful of dates. They send 2 police units who show up shortly in unmarked trucks and ask her what she was doing here. They knock on my door. The one cop tells me, don't come outside, and comes in to talk. And I explain the same thing. He looks at me and goes, so you want her to leave and not come back unless you explicitly invite her, right? To which I said, yes, please. He hands me a note scribbled out on a torn piece of wrapping paper with her saying sorry and that I backed out on promising not to leave her, which I never really said. Just that if I wasn't going to back out, if I was actually interested. The cop was very polite and looked kind of shocked that was happening, but they had her leave and I thanked them. So what he's saying there, because I know you looked a little confused, is that like she is saying, you promised not to leave me. And he's saying, I only said that if I was really interested in you, that things would go further.
We can get married, bitch. Calm down.
Yeah.
it was 2 weeks.
Yes.
It was 2
You promised
Not
to
even 2
never
years.
leave me.
You
That is so
promised.
fucking uncomfortable.
So, I'm here now because
So
of your promise.
awkward.
I hate this.
But that isn't it.
I moved
No.
immediately.
She waits a couple of days and texts me on different platforms apologizing for being stalkery and wishes I hadn't gotten so, quote, scared of commitment and backed out.
Bitch, I ain't scared of commitment. I'm scared of
I'm
you.
scared of you, you fucking
Yeah, you're not
psycho.
stalker E.
You are a stalker. Yeah.
The end.
She also started trying online spoofing phone texting, which I figured out, and I just started handing it to friends to send her messages instead. and, you know, a bunch of like new phone, who's this stuff, to which she messages me, asshole, period.
Okay.
The end.
Block. Wow. Well, you can't block her. That's the problem with all these.
No, you can't block her because there's all those spoofing apps, and she's calling from different phones. She's calling on different platforms.
Oh,
there's not a whole lot you can do except every time you get a new number, block that number.
I went on a Tinder date with somebody like a while back, and I think sometimes we're like, oh, you know, like we don't feel as bad for guys when they get like stalked or harassed.
Oh, I don't know.
Some people do. It's still kind of a joke. You know what I mean? But like, I don't think it's funny at all. It's definitely serious. This guy,
I have a son. I don't know. I think I'm very cognizant of that.
This guy I went out on a date with was super, like he was still kind of traumatized because he had somebody that found his address, that found where he worked after one Tinder date, and like showed up randomly, like around his neighborhood, showed up like around his job at lunch and stuff, and it shook him.
There's a
really freaked him
show
out.
that it used to be on Netflix, I think, and it was all about like stalking cases, like real life stalking cases. And it's true that like percentage wise, the vast number of like people who are stalked are women most of the time, but they had some cases on there where it was either women stalking other women or women stalking men that were frightening.
Yeah.
Very, very, very scary.
Well,
So
I always puts me in mind of that woman, the girl from Arizona that got caught with like, what was it, like so many thousands of emails and texts, and you're like,
Right. Yeah.
like, how many times?
yeah, she sent like 20,000 fucking texts, 20,000 like
That's
text messages.
fucking wild.
Or like, wasn't Jodi Arias also? They sent like thousands of emails.
Yeah.
Which is insanity.
get the fuck out of here.
Get out of my inbox immediately.
seriously.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's where you see it go to the most extreme, but that is an extreme case that it can go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very frightening. All right. So the story I got was from Tinder, and I just thought the story was fucking hilarious because I don't know why it very much, like, I literally could put myself in it because I could see this me AF. I'm not going to tell you the
Subject line.
Yeah, no subject line. I'm just going to read it. When I was 13 years old, I had a socially awkward coworker. Let's call him Jamie. Jamie was really into dinosaurs, World War II, and Family Guy. Okay, so you like...
That sounds like a typical high
Am
schooler.
I Jamie?
Yeah.
I had a lot of uncomfortable conversations with Jamie about their love life, one of which was basically their explanation of how I'll Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for Cutie was the most romantic song in the world.
That's it's a little
Super
bummery.
love that song.
It's a pretty song.
Yeah.
Isn't it about like suicide or something?
It's very dark.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a bit
very
dark.
dark song.
Yeah.
Also, but love that song.
I mean, it's definitely about death.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's about suicide, but definitely death.
It quickly becomes apparent that Jamie has a thing for me. One glaring clue is the Family Guy styled caricature of the two of us dressed like Greek gods walking through history as civilization burns behind us.
I hate that.
You imagine you're 13 years old
Deeply.
and some kid makes this fucking caricature of you.
Like, it makes
know
me
what?
think of the scissors. He's like, I choose you. And there's a picture of a train.
And then his heart, you can pinpoint the exact minute his heart breaks in half. I have to say, though, I think I was probably so starved for attention at 13 that I probably would have thought it was like cute.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I
part
would
of
have
you
been
is
like,
like, yeah, this is cute, but I'm not allowed to date yet, or interested in dating because you're 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very smart. One day, Jamie invites me to go to another coworker's birthday party at a pizza place. I get dropped off, and
I'm sorry.
I'm
I need
so
to put
confused.
I need
a
age timeout. Yeah. How old is Jamie?
I'm assuming they're right around the same age.
Why do they have jobs?
Are they 13?
I was 13 when I had my first job
Where?
at a hair salon, and then I worked at a pizza place.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
I like money.
Yeah. I don't.
No. Okay. All right.
Child
cool.
labor laws were different back in
I was going to say, I don't even think I could have gotten hired at 13 if I'd wanted to.
It was all under the table.
I did under the table work for my mom's like restaurant. Like I was allowed to work on Saturday and Sundays.
I definitely wouldn't have been calling people my coworkers at 13.
It sounds so official.
No,
those aren't like briefcases.
You don't have coworkers. You're 13.
I just imagine like this little teenager with a briefcase,
like a suit that's just way too big.
Pizza too. They're like, oh,
I don't want a 13-year-old touching my pizza at all ever. Get your fucking booger hands off of the pizza crust. No,
your hands are greasy, but it's not from the pizza.
I don't like it. I don't like that. In fact, I demand any restaurant I go to tell me. There needs to be a written notice on the door if you have 13-year-olds working in the kitchen.
13-year-old makes the burgers here.
Oh my god. Our resident 13-year-old.
Oh my.
One day, Jamie invites me to go to another coworker's birthday party at a pizza place. I get dropped off, and the only person there is Jamie waiting in a booth. Cue my spider sense is going off. The birthday party was canceled, but I already ordered our pizza. Now we can get to spend some quality time together.
He said that the birthday party was canceled?
Yes, yeah. Just split a pizza. I'm guessing the birthday party didn't really exist, but
spider senses are on full alert. Yeah. This is not okay, right? But I'm supposed to be here for this party for at least an hour. There is also
and your mom dropped you off. Oh my god.
Yeah. This is also before cell phones were really common, so I didn't really have a way to get a ride out.
Oh, we were all in positions like that, right? Where your mom dropped you up at the mall and then like you run out of shit to do. So you're like, well, I guess I have to sit in the food court for the next fucking 25 minutes.
Pray that the school bully doesn't come by. And they had already ordered for both of us. So I am trapped by social convention to eat with them. I love this person's writing so much. I don't know why. I don't remember a lot of the actual meal or what we talked about. I definitely asked a couple times if they had heard if anybody else would still be coming. But I do remember one of the very first questions Jamie asked that was, what are your thoughts about abortion? Most of the conversation was really similar.
Wait. This is the wildest story.
I know.
You have two 13-year-olds
who work
jobs. With jobs.
Coworkers.
And they're sitting down for pizza. And now they're talking about abortion?
I don't like this. I want to know. I feel a deep need to know all the details about this. I want to know what state and city you're in.
Yeah.
I want to know what year this takes place. Yeah. I want to know what your family life is like. Like, I'm so confused by this story.
I know.
Most of the conversation was really similar, very politically charged or controversial stuff. Again, we are both probably 13 to 15 at the time. The next day, I saw the other coworker and wished them a happy birthday. You already know the response. It's not my birthday for a few more weeks, but thanks anyway.
Okay. I'm sorry, Jamie. I know you're like fucking 13 years old, but come up with a better goddamn lie than that. Don't pick someone like that
you work with that you know
that she's gonna ask,
or just remember that you lied and just be like, "Oh, thanks," and then let it go.
No, she asked someone else.
Oh.
It was a different coworker.
Oh.
He was
the
like,
"Do you want whose birthday was supposed to be?
Do you want to come to Annie's birthday party?"
Yeah.
And
then
she was
went to work the next day and was like, "Happy birthday, Annie!" And Annie's like, "Nah,
it's not my birthday,
dog." I don't know what you're talking about.
So easily disproven. Jamie, rookie move.
Yeah, no shit.
God.
Oh man. Oh. So we got another email from Frito Feet.
Oh man.
And it's titled Summer Camp Blues, a coming of age dating story.
Oh, I love a good, is there like a colon in there? I love a good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
So great. I love this guy so much. He says, "Hey ladies, it's Alex. I guess you all know me as Frito Feet now, but feel free to use my name."
Except he wasn't the one with Frito Feet.
No.
Don't do that to yourself, Alex.
Yeah. You don't have to be.
You don't have to take that.
You don't have to live that. He says, "I've got another story for you that's a part bad date, part shame receipt, all awkward high school dating story."
Yes.
Excellent.
If I could, I'd like to request that Christina read this story since Keegan and Cassie have read my last few.
Oh.
And it's fun hearing everyone's different reading styles and commentary when telling a story.
Wow.
So you got the trifecta.
You got lucky because we
Alex
just were throwing these in randomly. We just do a
completely
rotation.
random, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out for you. You're welcome.
Alex got a three-way with us.
Whoa. I feel violated because I don't recall signing up for this.
He says, I was 17 and had finished my junior year, and I was in my first ever relationship with a girl who had just graduated. Ooh.
An older lady. You got two older ladies.
Hey now. I'm getting fiery. We got some ooh. So he says, let's call her
shoulder
Sarah.
shimmy there.
I'm like, we had only been dating since February of that year, but had been talking long before that and had gone to prom together. So things were going well, and a fun summer seemed to be in store for us before she left for college in the fall.
Oh, summer lovin'.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a blast. So we also went to the same church, and every summer the church helped host a week-long summer camp with other churches in the area for high schoolers.
My God, the best. That was
summer camp.
the best for me. And like church summer camps. So fun. They were
best.
actually like so fun. And especially if you were doing it in conjunction with other churches.
Oh, yeah.
You got to meet like other like young
Camp
guys
was
who
the
weren't in
best.
your town. How fun was that?
Yeah,
The
I loved camp. I got to do sleepaway camp all the way from like 8 to 15, and then I got to be counselor there. Yeah, it's
That's
wild.
awesome.
It's
The best.
fun. Yeah. So we both signed up along with a bunch of our friends, and were excited about the prospect of being able to spend a whole week together. There was one issue, and it related to my guy friends. Sarah had recently been saying that I had been spending too much time with them and not enough time with her, which I disagreed with. But before camp started, we had a talk that we would both try to split our time between our friends and each other evenly. And I thought that was the end of it.
How mature.
I know. I love it. Cut to camp. And by the second day, Sarah and I were fighting about me spending too much time with my friends. Again.
Already.
The argument started in the morning at breakfast, continued all day, and reached its peak that evening.
Oh, there's nothing like a
High school
sulky
fight.
teenage fight. Yeah.
Oh, sulky.
Things are tense at that table. Everybody else is eating their fucking like spaghetti. Like, oh,
It's always spaghetti.
It's always spaghetti.
so uncomfortable.
I was playing
Get more garlic bread.
Yes. I was playing soccer with some of the guys, waiting for dinner to start, and standing on the edge of the field were Sarah and her friends, huddled tightly in a circle and giving me knowing looks ever so often.
Oh my God, I love it. I love when
yeah.
teenage girls like band together. Like
hear all this.
if you hate your boyfriend,
We
all
all
hate
hate
your
your
boyfriend.
and we hate him fucking hard.
Harder.
Yeah.
Oh, get ready. Eventually, Sarah sent one of her friends out to tell me she wanted to talk. I obliged and went over. And after arguing for a few minutes in front of an audience of her friends and my friends who had stopped playing soccer to watch.
Of course they did.
They're like, oh,
Their
got my
tea hair is
tea-hair
on. Yeah.
Exactly. Sarah breaks down crying and sits in the grass with her face in her hands. A couple of her friends sit down with her to comfort her, and the rest of them are staring daggers at me.
I fucking love how intense everything was in
So
high school.
intense.
Oh.
Like everything was like life or death.
Yeah.
Everything was. And you thought it was going to be the end of the world and you were never going to feel okay ever again.
Yeah,
Like,
I lament the amount of tears I shed over a 17-year-old boy.
Oh,
my God. Honestly. And you should look up that 17-year-old boy on Facebook now. Because
I want to
I'm going to.
rehydrate myself with all those tears because I got to be honest, my skin has not ever been the same.
I know. Thank you.
It ain't right.
Yep.
Ain't right.
Don't cry over 17-year-olds ever. What I did next still brings me shame to this day. And I suspect my friends will never let me live it down.
Oh, the shame receipt.
Not wanting to lose the upper hand.
high school shame receipt. That's the worst.
I know. In front of my friends, I just turn around and walk away, leaving Sarah crying with her friends without saying a word.
How many days of summer camp is left? Because It's about to get real awkward.
It's about to get.
Mom, can you come pick me up?
Mom.
I have to go use the counselor's like office phone.
It is a rotary.
Oh, God. I soon learned that this was not the right response as Sarah sees me do this and starts crying even harder, gets up and runs back to her cabin. Dinner starts and I don't see Sarah enter the cafeteria, but her friends are there and are still staring daggers at me. My friends are giving me shit about how much trouble I'm in and how they can't believe I did that. And I feel like word has spread around the camp and all eyes in the cafeteria are on me. I figure if I just keep my head down and eat my food, I'll have a chance to patch things up with Sarah after dinner.
Nope.
Wrong.
Too late.
In the middle of dinner, when the cafeteria is fullest, about 250 people, I look up and see Sarah enter on one side, and I turn and also see her mom enter on the other.
Oh, no.
And they both run to each other and embrace like they're in a Hallmark movie, crying in the cafeteria in front of everyone at camp.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, my God. It is.
But you see, if I was Sarah, that would be a shame receipt for me later.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would be like a couple of days would go by, and then I would wake up in the middle of the night, like shuddering that they were getting. She's like 18.
You couldn't meet me outside?
Yeah. Yeah, it's both. It's like a complete communication breakdown. You're 17, you're 18. There's high emotions. You don't know what to do. And like one of them just like, I can't, and like turns and walks away.
Because here's the thing. I totally understand where she's coming from. I had a really close relationship with my mom. Probably would have called my mom and maybe would have gone home as well. But there is something about being 18 that would wake me up in the middle of the night later when I had time to reflect on it, about calling my mommy to hold me in the middle of the cafeteria in front of
250
everybody.
people. No. Yeah, this has got to be a shame receipt for her.
It would be hard for me to deal with.
First, yes, maybe would call my mommy. Secondly, would not meet her inside the cafeteria.
No.
I'd be like, please come pick me up and I will meet you by the curb.
Yes.
Yep. A hundo. I would have disappeared. You'd have thought I got murdered or some shit because nobody heard from me
Which
again.
is better revenge, honestly.
Yeah,
Let him wonder where the fuck you went.
Oh, and then she disappeared. Good for you. Good.
Yeah.
See what you did? You see what you did?
But at this moment, as the boyfriend, you're like, you just got mom shamed.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hard.
Big time.
Yikes.
And in that moment, I experienced a level of embarrassment and cringe that I truly believe I will never surpass.
Nope.
You know, Alex, I got to tell you, I think I'm a little older than you. And yeah, there'll be more embarrassing stuff.
Don't worry.
You got him.
I won't even be in your top 5.
When it happens, you know where to send him to. Sarah's mom didn't work at the camp or live nearby. Sarah had called and had her drive an hour to comfort her and pick her up 4 days early. She packed up her stuff and left shortly after without saying a word to me, and the rest of camp was pretty uneventful.
All of this over, like, something's, like, in hindsight, that is so fucking dumb.
You're hanging out with your friends too much.
And they had this kind of, like, blow-up fight about it. I miss having that kind of high emotion.
Yeah.
Like, I miss caring that much about anything. I am so fucking cynical in life now. I don't care about anything that much.
I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all.
That heightened emotion like that.
I hate it.
So
no, it's terrible. It is terrible. But like, where is the balance? Because now I'm fully into burn it all down mode.
Exactly.
I don't care about anything anymore.
Yeah, he says, needless to say, we broke up soon after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that was the day, actually.
Yeah, we got it.
You broke up then.
Yeah, you didn't know it at the time, but that was your breakup anniversary.
It was post dated.
Yeah. Per my last email.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. So, as we said earlier, this episode is coming out the day before Halloween. Ooh. So we had to do a Halloweeny Crazy in Love.
Yes.
Okay. And at first, I really wanted to do that Rod Ferrell vampire cult.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yes.
But because I thought
almost did that.
But they're not in a relationship.
Yeah.
I looked everywhere to try and find if like they were actually boyfriend and girlfriend, but they weren't. So I was like, okay, I can't do that one. But then I remembered that I think I heard this story on Lore. And so I was doing furious Google searches with like weird keywords trying to find this story. And I did find it. Okay. So we are going today to be talking about the Greenbrier ghost.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
So most of this information is from a Gizmodo article Murder by Gaslight, and also an old dude in a bow tie on YouTube.
Nice. And
So,
I actually looked at this precise story.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Elva Zona Heaster. Heaster.
How do you spell it?
It's Heaster. Heaster. Yeah. Elva Zona Heaster. She went by Zona. And
which is so cool.
Which
That is
also,
cool.
the names in this story are wild. So her name is Elva Zona, which is already like, bitch, you were born in 1873. Where do you get off coming up with a name like that?
My
I knew an Elva.
grandmother's name was Zieta.
Zieta. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's Zieta.
I do like that. That's nice.
I had some really wild names in my family as well. Yeah.
All right, we need to bring back those. You know what we need to do? We have to have a Gatsby New Year's.
Oh, I'm down. We're about to go into 2020. Yeah,
that's right.
Let's Gilded Age this bitch.
Yeah, hell yeah.
My
Opulence up the ass.
Yes.
My opulence.
Opulence.
My grandmother, or my brothers and sisters, their grandmother's name was Stormy, Icy Queen. And
Icy Queen?
Yeah, her brother's name was Jack Frost. Their last name was Queen.
I feel like this was a time when people didn't expect babies
Icy.
to live. And so they were like, we can just name you what we would name a kitten. It's fine. You know what I mean?
Icy will do. Yeah.
I like Icy, though, actually. Yeah. But okay, so Zona was born in Greenbrier County, West Virginia in 1873. And she was said to have been kind of a free spirit. There's not a whole lot of information about her childhood, but she did get pregnant out of wedlock, gasp, at the age of 22. And shortly after her child was born, Zona met 35-year-old Erasmus Stribling Trout Shoe.
I mean, we know I have an
name.
Uncle Ras.
Erasmus.
Yeah.
And listen, I know we've said it
the
before.
pictures.
He is hot.
He is ridiculously
this man
hot.
is fucking 19th century hot, like very hot.
Yeah.
And so he was hot enough to get away with a name like that. But he later changed his name to Edward, and the locals all called him Trout. So he went by Trout.
That's dope. A hot guy named Trout?
Yeah. A blacksmith, a hot blacksmith named Trout.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're done. We're done here.
Yeah.
And older, because there was like about an 11-year age difference.
So he's like
or so.
mature
So, yeah.
too.
Mm-hmm. I actually wrote in the next paragraph, it cannot be understated how hot this dude was.
Well, now I got to look him up.
And
Wait.
it's
Yeah, look up the
understandable that a 23-year-old girl would have been infatuated with this
what's
guy.
his name? Erasmussen?
If you type in Trout Shoe, it should come up. Shue.
All right, I got to look this guy up.
Yeah, you gotta save that photo anyways for Instagram, but also
Their
just
their
for
wedding
your
photo
life.
is the one where you're like, oh yeah, he's good looking. He's very good
This
looking.
guy.
That is, I think that is him, but that's not like the picture. Hold on.
Well, okay, sorry. Oh, hey, this guy? Yeah. He's high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes when people are
I'm
like,
writing like romance novels in my head about this dude.
yeah, because even like Maria Fitzherbert, right? Where we're like, oh, she's hot, but like we are saying she's hot by the standards of the day. We're like,
Right.
oh yeah, she's
No.
fucking like 17th century hot or
Right.
like 18th century hot
I
or
don't
whatever.
know. He's pretty fucking hot there, too.
He's a good looking man.
Good looking dude. I'd be like passing out that daguerreotype everywhere.
Yes. Have you seen my husband?
Have you seen my husband?
So I like.
His wallet falls open. Oh, I'm sorry. That's just my husband.
Would you like to look? But okay. So now that we've got that on the table,
Yes.
okay. Everyone who's listening, all the dudes especially, are like, we get it. He's fucking hot. You can move on. He was born in 1861-ish. They're not exactly sure which year he was born in Virginia, and he had been married twice before he met Zona. His first marriage was to a woman named Ellen Cutlip, which ended in divorce after 4 years. And this couple had one daughter whose name was Gerda Lucretia Shue. Gerda, Lucretia. It's terrible.
That's a lot of name.
Yeah.
Following his divorce, he was arrested for stealing a horse and spent 2 years in prison. So grand theft horse.
Grand Theft Horse.
I love that game.
Grand Theft Horse. In 1894, Trout married a woman named Lucy Tritt, and less than a year into their marriage, Lucy died under somewhat suspicious circumstances. So some say that she fell on the ice while she was pregnant. Others say that she was accidentally, in quotes, hit on the head by a brick dropped by Trout, while other reports say that he deliberately poisoned her. So I'm like, this is all over the map.
First of all, like, how did she fucking die? Because
no, we don't know. We don't know. And as the story goes on, you'll see why we don't know. Keep in mind that this was a time when literally you could just be like, I'm a doctor. And then everybody was like, all right, that person's a doctor. And like, it had nothing to do with fucking anything. You know what I mean?
At all.
So, take that for what it is.
Yeah.
So either way, he received little to no consequences for the death of his second wife. And then he just straight like noped out of town, and he went to Greenbrier County to start a new life and found work as a blacksmith. Zona's mother, Mary Jane Heaster, who is also hot. She's also hot.
I want this to be a movie, by the way.
Yeah, dude, it should be, because dude, the story's really fucking interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Did you just look up the story right now, Cassie?
No.
You did. I know you did. I saw you reading it on your phone.
No, I wasn't. I was
You look
pictures.
Very suspicious. Okay.
Saving pictures.
So the mother, Zona's mother, Mary Jane Heaster, she looks in her picture, she looks like kind of Jenny Slate-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Like an old school Jenny Slate. Mm-hmm. And she disapproved of Zona's relationship with Trout, like off the get. A lot of people said that she was kind of overprotective of Zona after Zona's pregnancy.
Yeah.
And
Zona's like, have you seen his pictures?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, she's like, I see right through that. I see right through that.
Parents know. They're like, that's a fuckboy if I've ever seen one. Stay the fuck away. Don't get close.
She actually invented the term fuckboy for him.
So Zona didn't listen, of course. And the two were married just weeks after meeting. They got married the same month that they met. So they were like, expedite this shit.
I wonder if she's the ancestor of the freaking chick from your story. Who was like asking for like a ring after 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
That is the ancestor of Zona's child.
Yeah,
for sure. So 3 months after their marriage, so they talk about going from like 0 to 100. So they met, got married the same month, and then 3 months after their marriage, so they've been together or known each other for less than 6 months at this point. 3 months after their marriage, Zona dies.
Who?
Yes.
How much
escalated
insurance
quickly.
does he have on her?
A neighbor boy who had been hired to help the family do chores discovered Zona's lifeless body at the bottom of the shoe's staircase. Also, can we pause and talk about how many fucking children found dead bodies in this time period? Like, they all had jobs.
Yeah.
Clearly. This is a 13-year-old with a fucking job.
He was going to get a job.
13, he was like, what are you talking about? I'm seasoned.
Yeah. Actually, I'm on my way to retirement.
This is my
already.
second briefcase. I wore
right
out
the
through
first
that
one.
first one.
Yeah. So Zona was stretched out with her feet together and one arm on her abdomen and the other laying by her side, and her eyes were reportedly open and staring. So even to a child, he was like, she did. I'm pretty sure she did. So he...
It's like I've seen this before.
Death.
Here's another one.
I'm well acquainted. So he ran home to tell his mother, and his mother called the local doctor, George Knapp, and George Knapp took over an hour to arrive to the house. When he did arrive, Trout Edward, our friend, had taken his wife's body upstairs and laid her on the bed. And contrary to the customs of the time, he had already dressed her for burial. So typically at this time, women dressed each other for burial. So there was a whole thing. They would go in and dress the body for burial. But he had already dressed her. He had put her in a high-necked, stiff-collared dress with a veil covering her face.
That's too fast food.
And he was said to be sitting on the bed, cradling her head in his arms and crying so hysterically with such grief that the doctor could only give a cursory examination.
I don't buy it.
The doctor first reported that the cause of death was an everlasting faint.
Yes.
The everlasting faint, of course. Of course
yes,
it was.
It was the everlasting faint. I remember.
Oh my God.
Which, according to the old guy in the bow tie on YouTube, was old-timey speak for a heart attack. But I don't know.
Everlasting faint.
The everlasting faint.
That's the title of my next album, actually.
I want to know if they also if they said that when it happened to dudes, or if it was just something that they were like, we need to make it sound more womanly than a heart attack. That sounds too aggressive. But the doctor later changed the cause of death to complications due to childbirth or pregnancy, even though no one knew Zona to be pregnant.
Yeah.
Very strange. Like I said, this doctor was probably drunk, maybe doing cocaine.
You see what I see here is everlasting faint.
I think
I'm pretty sure.
that's what took him so long to get there.
Yeah.
He was fucked up.
He's like, one more. Just one more and I'll be there.
She's already dead? All right.
It's fine.
I'll be there soon.
Zona's body was moved to her mother Mary Jane's house for the viewing before the funeral, and during the viewing, Trout refused to leave his wife's side, sobbing and refusing to allow anyone to get too close to the
He's
body.
like, I don't want you to be seeing all these
I'm
bruises
just so
and shit.
sad. I'm just so sad, you guys. She was dressed in the same high-necked dress, and there had been a scarf placed around her neck. It was also noted to be odd that Trout used a pillow on one side of his wife's head and a rolled-up sheet on the other side, so kind of wedged in the casket. A little strange. Now, Mary Jane was suspicious from the jump.
Yeah.
And she suspected that Trout may have had something to do with her daughter's death. She was also a spiritualist, which was fucking all the rage at this time. And she began to pray that Zona's spirit would come to her and tell her what happened. And it was around this time also that strange things began to happen. Ooh. She had managed to take the rolled up sheet out of the casket that was, propping up Zona's head. And she took it home to wash it. And when she put it in the water, she said that the water turned red and stained the sheet pink, and she couldn't get the stain out.
Oh, it made a red flag.
Yeah, it was like, red flag, red flag. About 4 weeks after her daughter's death, Mary Jane began having visions, and 4 nights in a row, Zona's ghost came to her and told her that Trout had abused her. The ghost told Mary Jane how she and Trout had argued the day of her death, and she said that Trout attacked her and broke her neck. As the ghost was leaving during the final dream, she turned her head around until it was completely facing.
Oh, I don't like that.
Nope. Please don't do that. I believe you.
You don't need to show me.
I'm good.
I believe you.
So, Mary Jane woke up, she sprang out of bed, and she ran straight to that prosecutor's office. And the prosecutor was John Alfred Preston, and she gave him this information. And while he would not reopen the case for a ghost story,
Surprising.
Mama Heaster was so persistent that it did prompt him to start asking more questions about this situation. And it was at this point that Dr. Knapp admitted that his examination had been incomplete and that he had, in fact, seen bruises on Zona's neck and did not say anything up until this point.
Wow. Well, that everlasting faint sometimes comes with neck bruises.
Get you. She fell on stairs. I'm sure it was just
It's fine.
fell around stairs.
It's an everlasting faint.
Witnesses told him about Trout's strange behavior at the wake, and some of them said that they had seen Zona's neck flopping all loosey-goosey before she was placed in the coffin.
Oh, gross. I don't like that.
So they picked her up to put her in the coffin, and her neck was just like, The body was exhumed. And Trout attended the autopsy, which, why?
No.
In the thing that I had watched on YouTube where they talked about that, he was asked to attend the autopsy and he did not want to attend the autopsy. So I don't know why they forced him to, unless maybe they were afraid he was going to try and run or something.
Yeah, they were like, you need to be close by.
They wanted him to be on hand.
Yeah.
And it said that he was pretty calm, cool, and collected during the autopsy until they moved up to start examining her neck. And then he was like acting Soup's sketch.
Like, ooh, I gotta go shit.
He's like,
we'll
can I
be
just
right back.
Step out for 1 second? During the complete autopsy, doctors found that Zona's neck had been broken. It had been dislocated between the first and second vertebrae.
Ouch.
And her windpipe had been crushed and her neck was bruised as if she had been strangled.
Oh.
So following the autopsy, Trout Shue was arrested for the murder of his wife,
That's
Zona.
why he was forced to be there.
Mm-hmm. They were like, we're just going to take you into custody right now. Mm-hmm. The trial began on June 23rd, 1897, and the prosecution did not want to bring up Zona's ghost or Mary Jane's dreams while she was on the stand because they were inadmissible in court. It didn't mean anything, so they didn't bring it up. But they did call her to the witness stand.
The ghost.
And upon the ghost, Mary Jane. They called Mary Jane to the witness stand, and upon cross-examination, Trout's defense attorneys did bring it up in an attempt to make her look unstable and to discredit her. But it completely backfired. She was so convincing and so adamant that it only strengthened the prosecution's case. So on the 6th day of the trial, Trout took the stand in his own defense, and he rambled on all afternoon, and he didn't really bring up any viable points whenever he was on the stand. He just kept doing like a flat denial. I didn't do it. They can't prove I did it kind of situation. And
no comment.
The Greenbrier Independent reported, quote, his testimony, manner, and so forth made an unfavorable impression on the spectators. So the jury deliberated for an hour and 10 minutes. Hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In and out. And in and out on circumstantial evidence, too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they didn't really have...
And a ghost story.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A ghost story, exactly.
So they returned a guilty verdict after an hour and 10 minutes. Shue's sentence would also be determined by the jury, and although 10 out of 12 jurors voted for an execution, the decision was not unanimous. So Trout Shue was sentenced to life in prison. But
They had a couple Quakers on that jury.
Yeah,
they were like, no, it's not for
I'm
me.
a pacifist, actually. But that sentence really displeased a lot of people in this area in Greenbrier County. So on July 11th, 1897, an armed mob had gathered, and they were like, we're going to go get this motherfucker and we're going to kill him. And because he was about to be transferred from like one place to another, like one prison to another.
He's about to be transferred to a tree is what he's about to be transferred to.
Yes, exactly. So Sheriff Nickel had gotten wind of this plot, and he managed to hide Shue in the woods before the mob reached the jail. And then he confronted the mob and persuaded them to lay down their arms and go home. But 4 of them were later indicted for attempted lynching.
Oh,
kind of seems like maybe you should just let that go.
Yeah.
You know,
like, that's not cool.
No harm, no foul, right? Yeah. It's fine. On July 13th, 1897, Trout Shue was sent to the state penitentiary in Moundsville, West Virginia. He died 3 years later of natural causes.
Which is he would have been like 38 at the time, which is pretty old.
But you know what? Actually,
late 1800s.
Actually, I heard that that's a myth, that people died younger. It's that the average death was younger, but it's because a whole lot of fucking babies died. It's like typically like people would still live to be like 60 something or whatever, but a lot of babies died, which brought down the average age.
I see that.
Maybe he had an everlasting faint.
I think he got a curse put on him personally, because I'm like, who dies at like 38 of natural causes? What fuck
He's
happened
also
to you?
in like prison in the late 1800s.
That's true.
Yeah.
How
Natural
dry was
causes
that
are
prison?
pneumonia.
Everything was moldy. So much wet bread.
Yes.
So much wet bread. There is a roadside marker to this day on Route 60 in West Virginia for the Greenbrier ghost. The final sentence of the marker states that this was the only known case in which the testimony of a ghost helped convict a murderer.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
I love that story.
Ghosty.
I love
Nice.
it. That's a good story.
I'm so glad you got that.
It's a fun Halloweeny one.
That is. That's good. That's real good. I have never heard that. That's fucking wild.
Fucking trout.
Trout.
Hot,
Am I right?
Hot trout.
I know.
You know what? You gotta be
How many
hot.
wives
So that was his third wife.
that died?
Yeah. Mhm. Well, 2 of them died. He divorced the first one.
Oh, right,
And then
right.
the next 2 died. Yes.
And so we're not suspicious on that side.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
we are.
Oh, we're
Okay.
fucking hella suspicious for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But you also have to be really hot to
But
be named
her
Trout.
ghost was like, you know what? I'm too tired.
That'd be me as a ghost,
Yeah.
to be
You're
honest.
like,
I'd be like,
ugh.
you know what? I'm tired, actually. I'm
That's
so
fine,
sleepy.
Whatever.
I don't have to go to work. I don't have to fucking do shit. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll just lay in this grave. It's not a problem. But can you imagine if somebody was like not hot and named Trout?
I mean,
That'd
it's the
be
last
really
name.
unfortunate.
I worked with a guy last name Trout.
Yeah,
And
but
he
no, but
actually was good looking.
did he go by Trout though?
No, he went by his name.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can't go by Trout if you're not good looking. You can't go by a fish name.
He was good looking though. I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, you
I mean,
should have
it
gone
worked for him.
You should have gone by Trout then.
call him up.
Yeah.
Sir. I don't know. I don't know about going by Trout. I don't know if I want to go by a fish name.
Yeah. Exactly.
Salmon,
Carp.
walleye.
What are we watching this week?
Oof.
You know what? I just started literally today with Anthony right before I came over here. The Devil You Know. Jesus.
Pazuzu.
It's upsetting.
It's really upsetting. I feel like I can smell that house. In
Oh
my
my
nightmares.
God. I was about to say that.
I'm most upset. I think about that house.
You know what? That's the thing too that was like really pissing me off when law enforcement was like, well, we went by and there weren't any signs of a crime. And I'm like, that house is a crime. Look at that place.
You smelled it a block away.
And all these people were like, it was so fun hanging out there. And I'm like, I don't care how many drugs you were on.
That's a
There
lot of
is
drugs.
no drug that could get me to not smell that fucking place. I can
disgusting.
smell
There
it
was-
through my TV.
I know. I know.
Heinous.
Especially heinous.
And when they're especially heinous, and when they're describing it and they're like, yeah, it wasn't uncommon for someone to be so fucked up on drugs that they just popped a squat in the corner and took a shit. And I'm like,
No.
what?
Yeah.
No.
What?
Yeah. Dogs, there were like 80
There's like 15 dogs. I'm like, these
fucking
dogs don't
pissing
deserve
and
this.
shitting everywhere.
Those dogs did not
Yeah.
deserve to live in that house.
No.
Like,
No.
I'm like, people are fucking in this house?
People are.
Oh,
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
naked people in this house. I'm like, what's
Dude,
happening?
It is worse than any episode of Hoarders you've ever seen.
And
That's
so-
how bad this house is.
So much dirty, matted hair.
So much.
So much of it. No one looks
I don't
clean.
understand.
But anyway, it's fascinating, and I will continue to watch that. I've also been watching Mindhunter. I'm several episodes deep in
get it,
Mindhunter,
girl.
and
Yes.
I am loving it.
You're making it through.
I'm loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I've been sick as a fucking dog this week.
Yeah.
I barely remember anything about Tuesday and Wednesday, pretty much entirely as a whole. I am been in a complete fog of life. So pretty much all I've been doing is sitting on my couch playing Candy Crush and listening to podcasts. So
Nice.
that's been my life.
Anything new? Any new podcasts?
I've been binging all the Datelines. Yeah, because those are starting to come up.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there are like new episodes released pretty much almost
and you
daily.
get
It's
to hear
awesome.
like Keith Morrison.
Dude,
It's just
so good.
he's so funny.
So fucking good.
He's got the best voice.
I
really
truly.
I did binge the hell out of Boobies and Newbies, just because I'd been a little backlogged on it, and I fucking love her. I love
I saw her
show.
yesterday.
Kelly, oh, you did?
Yes, she came to my Your Angry Neighborhood Feminist show. She's so
Oh,
sweet. Yeah.
Oh my god, I would have come, except I was.
Look, it was far. It was like all the way out in South Pasadena,
Ooh.
so it's fine.
You're lucky anybody showed up. I was. That was me. So just binging podcasts, and I'm. This is the problem with me listening to Boobies and Newbies, though, is that every time I listen, I'm like, oh, I want to buy that
Read
book.
that book,
I want to
yeah.
read that book. I'm going to look for a book in that genre that I've never read before because that sounds interesting.
That's a
Little
good problem to
sci-fi.
have, though. Like too
and
many
then I'm
books.
like, is that really? I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
Eh.
I didn't get to watch anything really this week either, but I just started checking out the Happiness Lab. It's this podcast that I'm really getting into. It's like the science behind happiness.
Yeah.
And it's like, so it's not, to me, it doesn't feel super like woo-woo.
Self-helpy.
Yeah. Where it's like, this is scientifically like what makes you happy, you know?
I like that a lot.
Like that. Yeah. So I'm a couple episodes in and I'm liking it so far. So yeah, I will do more of a report when I get further along.
I expect a full review.
I expect to be fucking happy after I listen to this stuff.
You're like,
You're going to leave a 1 star if you're not. You're just like, this didn't work. Bullshit.
Sad.
Still sad. Just that. Full review. Stop. Still sad. Period.
Sad.
Exclamation point.
That reminds me, I go and rate and review. We haven't asked in a while. It's awesome. It helps us with the placement on the podcast thingy. Oh God, I just sound so old.
Charts?
The charts.
The podcast thingy.
The podcast
thingy.
Cool. The thingy. But yeah, that would be really, really cool if you did that. And and also you can go to our website, myworstdatepodcast.com. You can join our Facebook. You can join our Patreon. You can just chat with us. You can write us a story.
Merch. You can also find our Facebook through our website. Yep. Pretty much anything we do can be found on the website.
It's all there.
Yeah, and I'm sending out a call. We need some really, really juicy short stories.
Yes, please.
We've got a killer kind of show, kind of audition in some sense, maybe coming up. An opportunity. And we could use your help. So if you've been sitting on something soups juicy, now's the time to send it in. We need it.
Bring out the big guns.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well, thank you so much for listening. We love you.
Cheers.